Yo, 2019 Dodge Caravan 3.6 liter. Victim wants spark plugs. This thing just pulls straight up. And there's 3 of these guys that are still on these guys. Oh, that one's broke. Nice. Oh, that one's broke too. Whatever. This one's useless, so I'll just put that one back. Got an intake pipe here, 8mm or regular screwdriver. There's a clippy thing here. Pull the center up and that comes out. Air temp sender. Push in that tab. There might be a child-proof connector on one of these. It's gone. Got a breather hose I can get out of the way. Looks like somebody might have been in here before. Imagine that. Child-proof connector on this map sensor. The throttle body connector has one too. Pull back on that red tab. At least try to and break that off. Got a few vacuum lines you need to pull off, and there's a bracket on the back of this thing. A couple 10mm. There's a clippy thing here I'm going to take off. And then there's a clippy thing here too with a 13mm. And I can take this bracket off. Oh, look at that, another clippy thing. There's a plastic clippy thing on this hose. And there's another 10mm hiding right here. I got 7 8mm bolts for this upper intake. I missed a nut. There's one right here. No, there's 2 studs on these brackets. So I gotta kind of horseshoe this out of here. Kind of like that. Want to plug these 6 holes, make sure no junk gets down in them. I got this foamy thing I can take off of here. Looks like all these wires are long enough so I won't need to disconnect the coils. I can leave them all plugged in. 10mm on these coils. The little screw can stay in the coil too. You don't have to take it all the way out. 5A spark plug socket. Now I always like to use the OE style plugs, the same ones that I take out. I want the same number, RER8ZWYCB4 Champion. Normally I'd go to the parts store and I'd try to find the same one. If you go to the parts store and give them the make, model, and year, they'll always give you the wrong plugs for this thing, for everything nowadays. So the victim, he just went to Mopar, and this is the number he got for it. So apparently Dodge is using this one, so that's what I'm going to throw in there. I got a can of anti-seize here. You always want to put a little bit of anti-seize on these threads. Just a little bit. The correct plugs are always pre-gapped, so you don't ever want to stick anything in there and try to re-gap them. It's nice and square. That's all you need. Just leave it alone. You start sticking tools in here and you can wreck that tip. And if that tip breaks off in your engine's done. These are 12mm threads. I want to get these to about 18 foot-pounds. And just do the same to the rest of them. Okay, I got all these plugs put back in. These 10mm, I did 7.4 foot-pounds or 89 inch-pounds. Now I can put this all back together. Make sure nothing fell down in the intake. You're supposed to replace all of these gaskets. This is a low-mileage car, though, and they look really good. They're nice and raised, so I'm leaving them. If those leak, you'll get a lean bank code. Then you'll know you got to take the intake off and replace them. They should be fine though. I wipe this off really good. I'll toss it back on. 8mm. Those are machine screws, so you just kind of want to get them started. Make sure they don't cross thread because they're just threaded into plastic. I'm just going to start in the center and work my way to the outside with really light torque. Basically just zeroing them out. And I'm going to want to final torque these down to 89 inch-pounds too. You don't need to be very tight at all. Basically, if you hold this ratchet real close to the head like that, that's 89 inch-pounds right there. You don't have a torque wrench, so they're really not that tight. These 10mm nuts I want at 105 inch-pounds or 8.8 foot-pounds, if you care about such a thing. Stick this Humpty Dumpty back on. I'm going to leave this big one loose until I get these torqued down. Same here, 8.8 foot-pounds. Then this one gets tightened to 12. Now I can just plug the rest of this junk in. There's a couple of pegs way in the back for this intake. You got to make sure them are snapped in. Looks like everything. If I know what I'm doing, this thing should run again. Just looking at the fuel trim to make sure it doesn't have any vacuum leaks or anything. -2, -3. Long-term and short-term fuel trim looks really good. So I'm going to call it a job. Okay, bye.